Hi everyone, it's Kim here. We're going to be reviewing the season by season. This is the 2023 daily planner put out by Cultivate What Matters, who also has done the PowerSheets and the 90-day PowerSheets. So they are getting into the daily game, and I am so thankful they are. I've got a few little criticisms, and that's okay. It's their first launch. You've got to learn, gotta grow, and I really do think that this has a lot of beneficial things as well. So let's go ahead and dive in to my review of this 2023 daily. It does have this hardback cover and the corner boards, and it does have a very large ring, and the only concern I have with that is if you use stickers every single day, it would bulk up quite a bit onto this ring and have trouble turning, which we'll get to in a second. We've got this nameplate right here, and then as you flip through, you can see that there isn't a ton of prep work. This is meant to be ingested 90 days at a time while under an entire roof of the planner. Now it's meant to be used with your PowerSheets, but there is no direct reference between the two. Obviously there's a little bit of reading, some prep work, this is the seasonal that you're working with, January through March. And of course you have this script font, which is here and here, and you'll also see that on the daily pages moving forward. And then what I like about this is brainstorming, time blocking. That is how you're going to get most of your goals done, is by doing things in time blocks. You can get a lot more done if you're chunking things together. It's kind of like the Henry Ford, assembly line process. And then obviously it jumps right into your January section. On the front of your January, you have this dashboard type of page that you can put together. It is blank and it is just dot grid. It's a great font, a great size. It's a solid 1/4 inch, and it's the perfect light gray, so I enjoy that. It does have these laminated foil tabs here. But I can see with this paper that this, if it gets a lot of use, could have some damage. This is only 100 GSM paper, so it's not your thickest, but it's not the thinnest I've ever seen either. So this is what a monthly looks like. It has obviously the days dated already, and then you can, I love the prompts. That's the thing I love about this planner, is the prompts, the words. I find that some other, goal planners, they just say, here's your goals, and then give you a daily planner. Sometimes it's nice to get those prompts to kind of get those juices flowing, so to speak. This one starts in January 26th, so you can start planning right away prior to the first of the year, that last week of the holidays. My other favorite part about this is I love this My Upcoming Week. So you can actually, near the end of the week, like Wednesday, Thursday for me, I always find that I need to start shifting some things to the next week. This is a great place to note that. And then we have goals to focus on. These are the brainstorming, the action steps, which are in these two planners as well. The goal, the 90 days, and the full flagship. Those action steps are clearly laid out in those two planners. Here, they're just kind of referencing them for you so you can write them down. What matters most this week, and then what am I saying yes to? Obviously, the prompts really get a lot of things going. Here's that script font again, which I'm not sure I care for on this page. If there was some script font maybe next to it or within it, you could have done today's win. I think it just looks out of place here on the daily page, but I do enjoy the daily page, the fact that you've got from 5 to 11. It's a very long span of time. They do have your to-do list, which I think is plenty for the most part, because this is a daily planner, and I like to, again, write some to-dos and to-do lists within the time block. They are spaced quite a ways apart, so you could probably have gotten in more in the design process for those, but in actuality, am I going to get all of those parts done? Probably not. We've got 10 to my goals, express gratitude, and encourage someone. These are the daily prompts every single day throughout the entire year. You'll have this little corner down here. And then always reflection, they say, is reflection always helps with transformation. So it's got a today's win on the corner. So it does, in this week, it does start my upcoming week on the left, and then it progresses Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday do not have times. They're right here. And then they have a what I'm grateful for the week. So it's another weekly wrap up. Then it goes on to the next page. So there's no like notes pages within the week. It just skips from one week to the next. And so sometimes you're getting my upcoming week on the right-hand side of the page versus the left that we saw earlier. And then it just continues as we move along. And then you go back to the right-hand side coming up at the week. Let's go ahead and skip to the end of the month, which you've got your Saturday, Sunday, and then you have your notes pages. They just get one notes page, and then it begins with your February doc grid right here. So if we keep moving on, we've got all of January, February, and March, and that's where there's no difference between all of those. Okay, and you end with the notes pages, starting with the March, and at the end of March, this is when you'll see how it goes into the 90-day section, which is kind of like what they're introducing here with the 90-day PowerSheets. So we're going to skip right to the end. And so it ends on Saturday and Sunday. And then the next page is celebrating your 90 days. Again, more of a reflection. And then what needs more work moving forward. And then it's saying, okay, now you've done the prep work before. Do a little bit of reflecting again before you move through April through June. One thing I've noticed as I'm moving through here, there isn't a ton of consistency with this page. If you look here at the beginning where it has this season, see how this is script here, and now here it's flip-flopped. So noting the season is different in the script, it's flat here. So that's the one thing, is that they really haven't consistently used the font in the same ways throughout. All right, so that is another time block for the rhythm of the seasons, and then we keep moving forward. And then you have another fun prompt, and then you go through your 90 days, so April, March, May, June, and then you'll see at the end of June you have the same 90 days, season ahead, and then it goes right into your time blocking again, your inspirational, and then you've got another tab. So that goes throughout. So here's another quarter, and here's the last quarter. So at the end of December, you get all the way to the 31st. And the other thing I want to talk about as I'm flipping pages and editing that out, because I just edited a chunk out, you can't get to where you're going without doing it a chunk at a time. You know what I mean? To close the planner, you need to grab a chunk and move it over. Grab a chunk and move it over. You can't just do one of these because it really gets a little bit more difficult. That's the trouble I have. But with a daily planner, why are we flipping back and forth with large chunks other than forward planning into the month, which I don't think I would ever use the monthly view except if I wanted to note those highlights, or like say those goals. I could write down when I've actually achieved those goals or when those goals are set due dates by me. Again, let's go all the way back to where I was talking at the end of December. Do you see how hard it was to flip that? That's the wire O binding, which you either love or hate, to be honest. Now you get to the end and you have a more of a reflection, things that you wins this year. So this would be the only time in which I would be flipping large chunks of paper. In January, at the end of the month, I would be reflecting here, and then it keeps going through December. The other thing I really love and noticed about this, and this is where it really comes into key right here at the end, I love the fact that they have numbers on them. Every single page in here is a number. So you could write an index or note, this was on page 65. I have never seen that in any other planner. And I love that about the PowerSheets. It has dated pages, numbered pages. And then you get to the end, you've got this little final quote, and then you do have a sturdy pocket. Now next what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a sample week. I did a quick sample week, this one in May. It matched up with the week in August that I was using. Of course, I just redated it. I really think this is really going to help me out moving forward. Here's my thoughts on my upcoming week. I love the fact that it has all this space. I usually will divide it in half because that's just a lot of space for one item. Then I have my goals to focus on. I don't like a monthly tending list because it's too long for me. I prefer a weekly focus, and I wish they had incorporated more of a weekly tracker within here. But I understand that when you have, let's say, a tending list for the month, I'll just show one here real quick. The tending list for the month does have it broken down by weeks here in the 90-day goal planner. Now, if you haven't looked at the walkthrough of this, I'll go ahead and link it up in the corner. And I did reference this one at the same time, so you could see the difference between this one and this one. And now I'm trying to incorporate this one into this one as well. Now we've got this part down here where we have, again, more prompts to help me through my planning process with my goals. I loved this vertical space. It's almost too small if you wanted to divide it in half. Let's see, Luke is at tennis and I can do other things while he's at tennis. I would like cut this in half and write on this side. I did use a G7, I did use a 0.7 on here for a writing, so you can see how that would look. I also did a little bit of a pen test back here in December, and I want you to show you, this is what a 0.5 would look like. So it's a little bit thicker. This is a Sarasa Dry. And this is a Pilot 0.7, just the regular one that's everybody uses. All right, now moving on. I think if I was going to use this, I would definitely be doing more of a highlighter situation instead of stickers, just because of what I pointed out earlier. But I really think that this could be used as like maybe a packing list instead of any other list. You can just cover that up instead of writing a priority as you move forward with your day. All right, that concludes what I've got going on here. I don't think this really does have a ton of goal setting in it. That's why they're encouraging you to use the 90-day PowerSheets to break down your goals and goal actions as well. So if you are interested, you can go ahead and use the affiliate link I have in my description box. I really appreciate it. It does support me and my fact that I do purchase everything you see on the channel. It's totally disclosed. So I enjoy purchasing things and doing a review for you. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it, and happy planning.